I was playing around the other day and I decided to make just some plain cardstock money holders, with these lip balm cases, and I thought they were so cute. So these are just plain cardstock printed off on a regular ink printer. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to figure something out to do with sublimation. I had bought a large package of these clear plastic dome lip balm money holder with adhesive back. So they do call them money holders if you go to search for them, but they are actually plastic dome lip balm cases. So that is what you would search for. And these come in at almost 4 inches. They're just shy of that 4 inches. They're about 3.8, 3.9 inches. So I had these acrylic 4-inch ornaments, I guess is what I would call them, that I had purchased to use with my Cricut that I never used. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try to do sublimation on these and then use them as the money holders because the holders fit perfectly on these 4-inch circles. So this is what the 4-inch acrylic ornaments look like that I used. Now they do come with plastic on both sides that needs to be removed. Usually when you order an acrylic, it will always come with a plastic protective piece on both sides. So remove both sides of that first. Now please note that these are white acrylic. They are not clear. I have used clear acrylic for sublimation in the past, and I don't like how they turn out. So these are the designs that I created in Canva, and I brought them into a Word document here because I print from Word. So this is what it looked like when I printed it. Of course, I reversed it because when I put it on these white acrylic, I did want it to be reversed. So now I'm going to take you out of here and I'm going to show you how I designed it. So I went into Canva and I started a new document here. And I actually did 4.5 by 4.5 inches, so a 4.5-inch square. And then I went into Elements and I searched for a circle. I'm gonna put this, I'll start a new one here for you so that you can see it. Add a new page. I'll get rid of this one here. And so I added a circle. And then what I did is I went and I changed the color of the circle to white. And then I added a border so that we can see it. And I'm going to thin that border down just a little bit here. And then I stretch this out to 4 inches. So when you stretch it out, you can see on the black there on the right, it's going to get to 4 inches right there, 4 inches by 4 inches. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to center that using these magenta lines. And the reason I want a 4-inch circle in there is because that's how big our acrylic acrylic blank is that size. So now I'm going to add another shape and I'm going to stretch this one out all the way to the edge because this is how big those lip balm cases are. So they're going to go right out. They're about 3.8, 3.9, something like that. They fit perfectly in here, but they're only 1 inch high. So I'm going to go to 1 inch, 3.8 by 1 inch. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make this white. And I am also going to add a border. And I'm going to thin that border down here too. The only reason I'm doing this is so that when we're designing, we know exactly where that money is going to be in this lip balm holder. I will have a link below for the acrylic blanks that I used and also these lip balm cases. So now we've got our template, I guess is what I'd call it. I'm actually going to add a little tiny circle in the top too, because we got to remember that there is a hole in the top. So I'm going to center that and just put that right there so that we don't put our words where they're going to be interfering with that circle. So now we can just go in here and we can start searching elements. You can bring in elements from anywhere that you want to. You can do this however you want. I'm just going to do a quick happy birthday one. I'm not going to print this one. I just want to show you how I put it together. So I'm going to pull in happy birthday. Oh, this is one that I used. I like this one. So I pulled that in and I stuck it down here in the bottom. And so then you can also change the colors of this. If you go to edit photo here now, sorry, we'll wait a little bit to do this, but I'm going to add a few more things to it. But you can also edit the color of your design here as well. So now we're going to go back and I'm going to find some more birthday graphics here. I like this. I think I use this one as well. The birthday balloons, they look really pretty, the color of them. And I'm going to slide them over, but I'm going to send them to the back because, whoops, bring them forward one here. And then because I want them behind the happy birthday here. And now you can add anything else that you want. Let's see, let's add a text box. You could add, let's do happy, oh no, have a wonderful day. And you can put the name, we'll just put Maria in here. And then I'm going to stretch it out and make it bigger so that you can see it here. Make it bigger, stretch it out further again, because I'm going to change the font and I want it to fit in that circle. So, okay, so now I'm going to go up to the font here, drop down box, and I'm going to find a font that'll look cute with this. You can tell I have some of my favorites on the top. Let's try this one. Nope, don't like that. I don't like that. It's a little too big, so I'm just going to go with this beautiful wildflowers. I know that's going to shrink it down in size. So now I'm going to move it to the top here. And then I'm going to go to effects and I'm going to scroll down to curve because I want to curve it, but I don't want it curved that much. And so I'm going to curve it. And again, I'll show you how I did that. Just go to effects and then curve here. And then you can make the curve bigger or smaller, however you want to do that. That's about right there. So now what I'm going to do is, now that it's highlighted yet, I'm going to go to color, and then you can see here that gives you some color options from the designs that I've made up above and from the design that we're working on. So it pulls in these colors. So here's the colors from the happy birthday down below. So I think I'll use those. Maybe the peach. That looks kind of good there. So now it looks kind of light. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to do effect again. And this time I think I will pick outline here. And then we can change, see how it brought that beautiful outline in there. And now we can change the color of the outline too. It looks good the way it is, but you can pick any other color that you want to outline it with. I think I will use black because the happy birthday words are in black as well. So now we can also tweak this by going back to this curve here, and I can make it bigger or smaller because it kind of, it made the letters a little bit bigger here when I did the outline. So you can also go up here to spacing and you can do letter spacing here. You can pull them together or oops, gotta get it highlighted first. You can pull them together. You can move them apart like this. So that's a nice feature that Canva has. And so I don't like that. Let's see. I don't know if I have a space in here. There, try it now. There we go. That's better. Have a wonderful day, Maria. So now I'm going to shrink it down so that you can see it. I'm just going to make sure it's centered to that hole there. There we go. And now I'll go down so that we can look at the full picture of it. You can also put birth date. Okay, let's see. Let's do June 1st, 2024. You can put a birth date in there. That won't show up until they take the money card off. So let's do that. I'm gonna make it bigger here. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to have a birth date in there, you can leave it blank behind it. But if you want to really jazz it up, you can put their birthday on there because you've got their name in there. Now you can change the color of this as well. I'll go down to this one. The balloons, ooh, I like that. And then again, you can go up to the effects and you can do whatever you want here. But now I'm going to also remove this so that I can see, I don't like that over the balloons. So I'm going to go back and I am going to change the effect of this. I'm going to go from this color to white because now when I move this, you can see the white over the balloon. So, I mean, there's so many things that you can do. You can just change this up however you want to. Just make sure before you print, you delete your elements. Delete, and I'm going to delete the circle, and I'm going to delete this circle. So that's what's going to print. So then this is page 8 of this document. So I'm going to hit share and download. I'm going to, because I have Pro, I'm going to increase the DPI. I am going to add a transparent background. If you don't have Pro, you don't have to do that either, but some of these images are also from Pro. So now it says all pages. I don't want to download all pages because I already did that. So I'm just going to download page 8 and done and download. So now when I open this up, I will add it to a Word document. So actually what I'll do is I'll go back to my Word document here. I'll actually delete this one. I will explain to you later why this was not my favorite design with the black. So now I'm going to insert that picture that we just made. So if I was going to print this, I would bring that image in here. And then I'm going to do the wrap and through, because if you don't do that, you can't move your design around on Word the way you want to. So there's the image that we just designed. So now I have an Epson EcoTank 2760. So I'm going to go into print here. And I'm not plugged into it. One thing when you're doing sublimation, be sure to use a printer cable. If you just use your Wi-Fi will glitch out every once in a while, and then you'll end up with lines and distorted images. So I strongly suggest getting a printer cable. So I'm doing this on my laptop. So my Epson EcoTank 2760 is offline right now because I don't have the cable plugged into it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into printer properties. I'm going to make sure that I have premium presentation paper matte selected, that high quality is selected, color of course, and then under more options, I'm going to go into image options and I'm going to make sure I have emphasize more and emphasize thin lines. That is just a preference that I have. You're going to want to make sure that you're mirroring your image, and you want to make sure that you have high speed or bidirectional unchecked. So then you go and you print your design and it'll come out in reverse. I do also like to check here when you go into print, it shows you this line around it. That does not print, but then you know that all of your designs are going to be on there without having a part of it cut off. So now we'll go and we will make these ornaments. So here is the first batch of sublimation prints that I did. Now you can see that it is reversed, and that's exactly what we want. And I cut them apart. So I fired up my press to 385 degrees Fahrenheit, and we are going to be pressing these acrylic pieces for 40 seconds. This was my first attempt. I lightly taped the acrylic down onto the design, and then I laid it on top of a silicone mat. I will have the link below for that. I use a silicone mat on my press, and then I put protective paper down, and then you can see that I flipped it over. I used HTV Ront 125 sublimation paper for this, and then I pressed it this way. After I pressed at 385 degrees for 40 seconds, I took it off the press and I remembered this needs to be put down flat and have something heavy on top of it. So I laid it on a cooling mat, and the closest thing that I had that was heavy was this photo slate in the box, and so I set that on top of it. Well, It was a mistake setting it on top of the cooling pad. I should have set it directly on a hard surface, the table, and you would want to set something heavy like a book or a stack of books. This photo slate worked great for the weight, but because I set it on the cooling mat, it still curled a little bit. So back to the drawing board, I reprinted my design and started over. So here I did both designs at the same time. So I taped them down on the piece of paper and then I flipped them over and I pressed them the same way, 385 degrees for 40 seconds. This time I laid them on the hard surface. I laid them right on the table and then I set the photo slate on top of them and then I let them almost completely cool with the weight on top. So after they cooled, I started to remove the paper. I knew the paper was going to stick because it always sticks to acrylic. And so I removed as much of the paper as I could. And then I put them in water. So I submersed them in water and then I let them sit there for about 10 minutes. So I went in and I started rubbing the paper off with my fingers, trying to get it to come off, and it was taking a little longer than I wanted. So I actually went and got a scrubby out of my kitchen sink. This scrubby doesn't have any abrasion on it. There's no metal or anything in it. So it's kind of like got tooling crocheted into it. So it's a very soft scrubby, and I used that on there and it worked really well. So here you can see the two on the left, they cleaned up real nicely. The one on the right, the darker image, that got cloudy. You could use it. I did get my finger wet and I rubbed it over so that you could see what it looks like when it's wet and when it dries. When it dries, it has that cloudy look to it. I suggest not using dark colors all over the acrylic. It turned out much better with more white showing than the dark. But dark works, it's just not, you're not going to get the effect I think that you would like. I did not like the darker colors on the acrylic. And here's how I put those money holders together. So I rolled up the money. Of course, you can put as much as you want in here. You can put more than one bill in there. You could put a 20 and a 10. You could put a 20 and a 5. You could put a 50, 100, whatever you want. So the holders that I got came with the adhesive. So if you take off that part of the cover off of the adhesive, you can set the money holder on there and get that clear adhesive to stick. Now on this one, I wanted the date to be covered, so that's why I put the date in the center. So when they open up this gift, they'll be surprised to see the date in there, and then they can use it as a Christmas tree ornament or whatever they want. So this is how it looks when you start to put them together. I did want to show you this as well. As you can see from the video, on the second time that I pressed these, I used more tape. I am not a fan of tape for anything. This was heat resistant tape, but you can see that it did leave a tape mark on the back. And so that tape mark melted right into it. So be very sparse with your tape. Here is the finished product for the wedding gift. I think it turned out really cute. And here is a birthday one that I completed. Now on this one, I did not use the double-sided tape. I just taped the edges lightly with regular clear tape so the person that you give it to could actually reuse it. I think for more of an effect, you would want to use the double-sided tape and make it permanent. But this way, if you gave it to someone that you think might reuse it, they could actually take it apart and reuse it again. And here is the finished product of these acrylic sublimation designs. Thank you for watching my video. Please see links below for items that I used. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day.